Alrighty.
Okay. Alright. Bear with me for a little bit. How are we doing tonight?
No complaints. We're here.
That's always good. Alright. Okay. Alright, we just let it be now. Let me get Twitch going as well. Home. Let's see.
Man, I can't wait to get blown out tomorrow because I only have 2 Wing Gundam Zeros.
Actually, I think maybe all you need.
I'm hoping it's all I need.
That's actually a good one. Let's see.
Just put on 3 hours of Seed music.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like Gundam TCG has anything. 7 viewers are on Gundam game teaching app. Gundam TCG card game teaching app. That's actually kind of funny. Alright, I'm gonna put just chatting.
I can only imagine that I think people are probably just focused on making video content for it as opposed to live stuff or whatever, but who knows?
Mm-hmm. Actually, Gundam card game does have its own tags. Just not bad, actually. Cool. Alright, cool. That's enough pre-game there. Let's get started. Just make sure everything is on the up and up here. Cool. Alright. We're good to go.
Alright, so what is the lowdown? What are you leaning towards?
Alright, so as you can see, I have removed Shenlongs out of the gate to include 2 more death sites as their replacements.
So do you finally have a full playset of Death Scythe?
3, which is like what people said is the minimum. So here's my 3rd one. Let me get this.
3 should be good.
Yeah, I think 3 should be fine. Yeah. Oh boy. So you said people are taking out First Contact? Is there a reason for that?
I don't know what the reason is for it, to be honest. I've just been looking at a lot of lists that have been propping up from tournaments that people have been holding. There's a YouTuber that runs like half case tournaments where like I think the grand prize is 3 booster boxes or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
And so for those tournaments, they typically end up getting a decent amount of people playing, like anywhere from like bare minimum 50 to 60 to maybe 100 people. And so I've been looking at some of the top performing decks that have been coming out of those tournaments. And a lot of the green white stuff that I saw from some of like the last 2, they've been kind of cutting First Contact for whatever reason.
I can see a sort of reason, because once you hit level 3, you only have room to do 3, and especially if you're going second, like, do you really want to give up your EX resource right away? So That's the thing there. Whereas this guy actually gives out an X resource upon coming in to artificially raise your level.
Yeah, like I'm not saying that bird mode is a bad card or anything, because they're still running bird mode.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm trying to figure out is, okay, so they are running bird mode, but they're not running the first contact. So I can't figure out what the new tech is that they're playing in place of it.
Hmm.
Let me see the deck that went second place. So the list, I have the list here actually for the second place deck. And it looks like, oh, it looks like they put in a top end of 2 Freedom Gundam. Interesting. So their top end, it looks like they're on the 3 Death Scythe instead of the 4. 3 Wing Gundam, 2 Wing Gundam Zero, which thankfully is all I have, so that's kind of nice to see that people are getting away with playing 2. And then 2 of Freedom Gundam.
I think Wing Zero is more of a let's just end the game here and now sort of game.
Yeah, but I do see a lot of people like try to cram in running 4 of them, 4 Death Scythe, and 4 Wing Gundam,
Yeah.
which I don't overly like because that feels like way too many cards you're waiting to get in your top end. But a lot of people seem to do it for a reason. So I don't want to discount why they're doing that, but it is kind of interesting to see that there's some shakeup and everything going on here. The other thing I'm actually surprised about is they're only running in this list 24 units.
I'm actually only running, I think, 23 units in this deck. Let me double check, though. I may actually just get rid of Wu Fei if I'm not going to include any Shenlongs.
For their green white build, they're on 4 Hero Yui, 3 Kira Yamato, and 3 Duo Maxwell.
Yeah. I have been seeing that people either go full, like, Breacher mode or just full on ramp mode. Not ramp mode, full on blocker mode. The Kira Yue stuff. I mean, not Kira Yamato stuff, I can definitely see it. So, if that's the case, let me take a look. Got my singles here. And hello to people jumping into the stream. Also, if you guys have any ideas, if you guys play this game, yeah, let me know. I'm willing to hear some ideas. All right. This is. I only have 2 freedoms, and they're both in my seed blocker deck. I mean, I can move them temporarily. I have seen Ale Strike being used though.
Oh yeah, I mean, Ailstrike definitely sees play. Actually funny. That's funny. So the third place deck has 2 Ailstrike in it. The second place deck has no Ailstrike. I can give you the blocker rundown for both of them.
Yeah, sure.
Although the only thing that's confusing is the third place list. It looks like it's incomplete because it has 2 instances of using 3 Wing Gundam Zero, and then another 2 instances of 3 of Death Scythe. So there's like 6 cards in here that are mystery. But they're on the typical 4 of Gundam Lafrith, 4 of Zawart, and then 2 of Ailstrike for the third place list. And then the second place list, they're on 4 Zawart, 4 Gundam Lafrith, 2 Perfect Strike Gundam, and 2 Freedom. And then for additional blocking capability, they're running 3 Striker Pack.
Gotcha. Hold on, let me just bring out the 2 Ailstrike out of the Zaf deck I was working with. Yeah, because I have been hearing Ailstrike a lot. And people just saying that like you have to time. People are just timing when they whatchamacallit, pair it to use its effect.
Yeah. It looks like, strangely enough, a lot of the lists that ended up lower in the tournament results had more Ailstrike.
Yeah. Well, you can definitely afford going Freedom route.
You can afford going Freedom route. I don't entirely know how I feel about it. I mean, in a sense, like, it's actually not too bad because they're still overall playing 2 less high-end units than I see a lot of decks play. Because previously it was, you're on your 4 Wing Gundam, you're on your 4 Wing Gundam Zero, and your 4 Death Scythe. So they would have 12 bare minimum units that are level 6 or higher, whereas the second place deck here is on 10. So they got their 3 Death Scythe, 3 Wing, 2 Freedom, and 2 Wing Zero. So they have a little bit more room in the lower end of the deck, which I think is good. I'm very curious how that Freedom Gundam ended up playing out for them.
Yeah. I wonder maybe running Sword Strike. So
there are people that are running Sword Strike quite a bit. I think some people make room for it in the Freedom Blocker deck, but I think it sees a little bit more play in Blue-White Unicorn, because the more I've been looking it up, the Blue-White Unicorn deck, it only kind of plays with a few blockers, and it's much more focused on other elements of control, so it uses Sword Strike Gundam more frequently to return stuff to the opponent's hand, as opposed to going the full blocker route.
Yeah, I always thought of returning people stuff to the hand as not very beneficial in the long run because you're able to allow them to recycle units, but at the same time you are technically delaying them. Especially if it's like early to mid game. Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is the when pairing effect, like Amuro. It's like, oh, okay, I'll just pair Amuro again and rest one of your units again.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to that, you have to be like very careful about what you're picking to return to the hand. So like, when you pick something to return to the hand, it's probably not going to be a good idea to pick anything that has a link capability. But if you're just returning their early game stuff, like say a Zawart or a Lafrith, that can't get anything by pairing or linking with a pilot, then you should kind of actually be in good shape to kind of put them back a turn by forcing them to send back to their hand their early game plays. Which is actually kind of crazy because, like, in all the other games that we've played in the past, returning stuff to the opponent's hand never really ended up being very beneficial. But it's actually very crazy that returning things to the hand is very good in this game.
Yeah. Let's take a look here. So here are the 4 cards definitely going to be removed, probably, if we're going to go a different route. Let me see here. Alright. Because I don't mind running Ailstrike as a shot to see what we can do with it. Okay, Freedom is what? Level 7, cost 5, right?
Yeah, level 7 costs 5.
Let me see here. Yeah, we're already pretty top heavy. I mean, yeah, I guess that's what it is to go with this game.
Yeah, if you're playing the wing deck, you're definitely going to have a fairly hefty top end, so it's a very high rolly deck. But the plus side is, at the very least, it looks like this list got away with playing 10 instead of the typical 12, or in some cases I've seen people play more than 12 units that have level 6 or higher, which is insane to me. Because it's just way too much for my liking. You don't have, like, any room to do anything in the early game.
Yeah. Strike Rouge might be... Nah, Strike Rouge won't fit. Unless just adding another tech in there.
The deck did run Archangel, which I know that you prefer Strike Rouge to Archangel, but in this case, I think that it's going to be more beneficial to go the Archangel route, because for the Strike Rouge, it does give you another unit to play early, but unless you already have, like, a base in mind, because what I'm seeing for this list here is they have 5 bases, and they're on 3 Underground Desert Base and 2 Archangel.
That's funny, actually. I'm running 3 Underground bases and 2 St. Gabriel Institutes. To help filter what I'm drawing. But it's actually not a bad idea.
I'm actually not seeing any... I'm not seeing any lists from this tournament with people playing St. Gabriel.
That's kind of funny. You would think
Actually,
TCG, like, you would want to be able to sort of manage what you're drawing. But
you would think.
Yeah.
You would think. I don't know.
Alright, that's Archangel 1.
I'm actually kind of very surprised that nobody's playing, like, any low end stuff, like, you know, beyond just Saint Gabriel. It's like nobody's playing anything like DOP or whatever to help filter their top decks or whatever, which it's like this deck is going to at some point end up top decking. So why not? Why not try to filter your top deck or whatever?
Yeah. Let me see here. Okay, Sword Strike was on potential. Let's see. Okay, I'm really liking this lo-fi Gundam Unicorn theme.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty nice. Yeah. Alright, Leo. Okay. The other option is let's see. I've also seen people run Perfect Strike as well. I get why. It's cheaper. It's cost 3 at level 5. It's a relatively heavy blocker, but it's only on deploy when that effect goes off.
Which, that's actually kind of the differential between it and Ailstrike, because Ailstrike is when paired with a level 4 or higher pilot. So you have to be able to pair it with a pilot to get the effect. Now, granted, it does let you get something that's 4 less HP as opposed to 1 with Perfect Strike, but the benefit in a way of Perfect Strike is that you can get the ability to return something when you deploy it, and you don't need to rely on having a pilot in hand.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is Earth Alliance, so I can run Mulaflaga as a command/pilot as an option instead of Kira.
You can, which, if you want to do that, the deck list that I see here for the second place person, it looks like they're running 2 Unforeseen Incident. So you could still run the Unforeseen Incident, or if you prefer the Mulaflaga idea, you could cut the 2 Unforeseen for Hawk of Endymion, Mulaflaga.
Yeah. I still want to run Unforeseen Incident, though, too. Let me see where we're at. Alright. So, if we were to open up, well, I was thinking. So, I'm going to keep 1 Striker pack, just because it works. And for some odd reason, that Striker pack keeps showing up, no, even though there's only 1 copy. Let's see. That's 2 Archangels. So let's go ahead and get rid of the St. Gabriels then. Maybe they're onto something and I'm not, but we'll see.
I don't know. See, I originally thought St. Gabriel was possibly decent, since we're in a current game state where there's not a whole lot of draw. So you would think that filtering is decent, but it seems that taking the time to filter your draws outside of like super early game, like dropping a DOP or whatever, isn't all that useful. I don't know. It's the only thing that I can really assume, since no one's attempting to play the St. Gabriel. Now, you can still give it a shot and see if it helps out for you, because the thing that I've been finding is I just got done playing some stuff on Wingtable, and I took the 1-year war deck and put it against the Xeon starter deck. So just a single copy of the Xeon starter deck. The Xeon starter deck actually gave the 1-year war deck a run for its money, which tells me that things are so incredibly balanced at the moment that I don't think it's actually that bad of a decision if you wanted to test the St. Gabriel. You might end up finding at some point that you want to replace it for something else. But
I'll try the 2 Archangels just so that. Now that I think about it, yeah, like having Archangel is also not a terrible idea. Just because there is going to be that lull of at least 2 turns between level 3 and level 5. Because level 4 is just cost 1 pilots. Let's see. What else do I have at level 4? Yeah, there's actually nothing left in the level 4 section. Just pilots. Alright. So, Hawk Endymion. Let's see. Choose one enemy unit with rare less HP. Return to its owner's hand. Huh. Interesting. Let's take a look here. All right, so now we do have the option of going Kira if we're going to start adding in the seed stuff like Ale Strike or Sword Strike. I actually don't have a whole lot of perfect strikes. Funny enough. I think I only have the one, and that's in that seed deck. Let me see. Yeah, I think I only have one perfect strike. Huh. Let's see. I have so many Blitz Gundam, like, just mixed around.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I have 2 playsets of Blitz Gundam.
And so, in Battle of Aces and Charge Zaku's too. I feel like the rare pool is about the same amount as LR's. Probably not, but
Maybe. You never know.
Let's see here. Sword Strike. Yeah, it doesn't look like I have any more perfect strikes lying around. And that's just a bundle of resources. Yeah.
The deck list that I see here only runs 2 perfect strike. So you don't need to worry about running too many.
Yeah, I may just do Ale Strike. But if I'm doing Ale Strike, I might as well run Kira instead. Because Hawk of Endymion.
Well, the deck does run Kira. What I was saying is that the deck list, it's got 3 Hero, 3 Kira, and 3 Duo. So you could still slot in Kira, but if you want the Hawk of Endymion, you may need to make a decision of do I run Unforeseen Incident, or do I value the Hawk of Endymion versatility more? The other thing that the Hawk will do is it gives you something else at level 2.
That's what I'm thinking. Just having some lower level like mitigation to help with managing. Because if I can delay their lower end stuff, and then my higher end stuff can start like pummeling. Yeah. Because I crashed into an issue where like people were just dropping the Gins and the GMs, and they were really hurting. Azure Commander, there are girls. There's just dudes right now. Oh, Commander. Hmm. Let me see here. Let's see here. Hmm. Yeah, I'm just I do want to run Hawk of Endymion. It's just a like the link up with Ailstrike is not a bad idea with Kira. Because Kira's also a burst pilot too.
Yeah,
Let
I
me see.
mean, there's definitely a lot of benefit to running the Kira, where I think you should 100% run Kira in some capacity in the deck. I'm seeing that some people kind of play around with whether they run it at 2 or 3. Some decks even put it at 4. I'd say for your case,
Mm.
it might be a good idea to try 2 or 3. I think it's probably going to be best to put Kira at 3.
One moment, let me just make sure I do not get copyright strike on this one. All right, we'll go with that. Okay. Let's see. All right, so here's the 3 Kiras I have. How many slots left in the deck? We have 4 more slots in the deck.
Mm.
Let me see. I mean, I'm caring about the curve, but then again, I'll be at level 3 in no time, to be honest. Okay. If I'm running Ales... Do I just drop the one striker pack?
How many do you have at the moment?
Just one. I've just been running one.
I guess it depends on what you want to do. Because I do see there's some variants that people played of green white where they didn't run striker pack, but most of the builds seem to try to slot in striker pack, and instead of running it at 2, we're actually running it at 3.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, the third place deck, the difference that it has is it's running no striker pack, and it's running 4 copies of the Path to Victory or Defeat in order to search the Operation Meteor or G-Team unit cards and pilots. But the second place list is running 3 striker pack and only 2 the Path to Victory or Defeat.
I was wondering about taking one of those out. Because they were not as helpful when I ran them.
Yeah, the thing is that it can be very helpful, but the problem with running stuff like Path to Victory or Defeat, or in the case of the 1-year war deck with Charzaku too, when you start merging and putting in other stuff to the deck, like the white blocking package, you run the risk of playing that card and then bottoming everything.
Okay. So we're removing Breach altogether out of this deck. So we're going to run 3 Kira, 4 Hero, 3 Duo. Hawk of Endymion I'll take out. And then taking out 1 Path of Victory or Defeat for now. Might be 2. First Contact, I'll keep it at 4 for now. Let's see, and then 2... Okay, no, there's no more slots left because I'll be adding the 2 ales. So... Alright, well, top end is huge. Let me see. There's just a very odd single striker pack in there. Huh. Let me see. Hmm. I wonder. Let's see. I'm not going to count the bases in the curve because that's something else. But, alright, so we're at 8 level 2s, 12 level 3s, 11 level 4s, 5 level 5s, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6 or higher. So I think 3 wing zeros is more than enough. Let me see here.
I think you can definitely get away with playing 3. I feel a little skeezy with trying to get away running 2, but if the second place list managed to get away with running 2, then it tells me that you don't need to necessarily run 4.
I don't think I've ever seen. Wait, how many people actually play 4? I don't see this being a 4 of. Just
A
given.
lot.
Really?
I am not exaggerating. The second place list has it at 2. The third place list has it at 3. The next place list after that has it at 3, and then if you go further down the list, people are, it looks like, running it at 4.
Hmm.
Let me see, 13th, yep. 13th place list, they're running it at 4. And their build is actually on the 4 Wing Zero, 4 Death Scythe, and 4 Wing Gundam. But what that's telling me is that the typical route that many people were playing before used to be the 4 of for all 3 of those units. But now people are getting away with playing lower ratios of those top end units and putting in different stuff or running just in general more lower end units because there's just a need for being able to have more flexibility because this 13th place list is like super standard in terms of trying to go for consistency.
Yeah.
Now, they're not on any first contact, but their list looks like it's got 28 units. They've got 4 Lafrith, 4 Zawart, and 2 Ailstrike for their blockers. One of the things I'm seeing that I didn't see in the other lists is that this one they decided to go with the level 4 version of Gundam Death Scythe for another thing to link with for duo.
Hmm.
But that's also because unlike some of the other lists that were running 3 duo, this one's on 4 full duo. But this guy, he has, 4 overflowing affection, 4 path to victor defeat, 4 underground desert based. So he's running a lot of stuff in here at 4 of as much as possible.
Yeah, which is good for consistency. Oh, by the way, very side topic here. So apparently I got a response about suppression with the new Barbados card.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it doesn't go through bases.
Where did you hear that at?
Apparently, someone replied to me on Twitter. It says, no, that's incorrect. It says it when it hits shields, deal damage to the first two cards. The base is in the shield area, but it specifically says it deals damage to shields. I was like, oh. That is true. It doesn't say dealing to shield area. Because base is not in the shields.
So I'm a little confused with how you're wording this because my understanding would be is that that would be correct if the opponent is swinging in and they hit your shield, sorry, they hit your base or whatever that is in the base area
Mm-hmm.
and they destroy it or whatever, but it's not going to also deal damage to anything in your shield area. But if you swing in and you deal damage to both cards simultaneously in the opponent's shield area, it's dealing damage at exactly the same time.
Yeah.
So the cards are flipped up simultaneously.
Yeah.
So therefore,
well, the rule is, I think the rule is it should be no matter what. It's whether the first shield will go off and then the second shield will go off if there's multiple burst effects. Yeah. Because it goes in an order. Yeah. Judge.
I'm sure there will be things getting figured out, and as we get closer to the release of the starter deck, Bandai will do an update to include the suppression mechanic on their website to hopefully confirm stuff when it comes to that, because otherwise it's going to be a ruling nightmare.
Yeah, I assume I assume the shields are dealt in order because that's the whole point. Yeah. All right. Wu Fei is taken out. There we go. All right. Hmm. The only thing I can think of left is if I want to include unforeseen incident, it would get rid of one path of victory or defeat and then one hero. That's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, reduce one archangel and one path of victory or defeat for two unforeseen incident. But for now, though, hmm. Although, to be fair, maybe get rid of one path of defeat for a striker pack. Hmm.
Did you already take out your other striker pack, or would you be going to 2?
I'll be going to 2. Because the one striker pack is still here.
I think 2 striker pack is a good play, to be honest.
Yeah. Alright, let's get rid of... What do you think? Get rid of one hero, get rid of one path, or get rid of one archangel?
How many path do you have in the deck at the moment?
It's down to 3. It was at 4.
Well, the winning deck list was on 2, so I'd say 2 to 3 would be a safe bet. How many Archangel do you have?
2.
2.
Total of only 5 bases right now.
Which is how many the second place deck had. Uh,
We could probably get rid of one hero UA.
you could try, but let me see how many they had.
Yeah. I mean, 11 pilots is not bad. Sorry, 10
Well,
pilots
they
is
didn't.
not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, they have 10 pilots in their build, but they have 4 hero, 3 Kira, and 3 duo.
Those just what I have now. 3 Kira, 3 Duo.
But
Huh.
they were only on 10 pilots, and they still had the 4 hero.
Yeah. Let me grab another striker pack and replace one Path of Victory Defeat. Because the one issue I had Path of Defeat is that it was also a dead card in the burst area, which was kind of annoying.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah. Let's see. That's another path. I know I have a bunch of these striker packs lying around. Or just put launcher strike in here and call it a day. Yeah. But having a 4-2 or a 2-4 at cost 2 is not a bad idea.
No, it probably isn't.
Hmm. Well, there's a 4th Kira if I need it. There's Menager. There's the Amuros. Let me see. Yeah. So, what do you think of Bandai new structure deck tier coming up? The ultimate, the ultimate decks.
The ultimate deck stuff.
Yeah. So our first ultimate deck is going to be the Sea Destiny deck, coming out in March of next year. It's going to be a structure deck, a exclusive dice. Yay! I'm going to see that getting scalped. And oh, one moment. One second.
I mean, I'm always for something that introduces like giving more goodies and everything within a starter deck. What I'm hoping though is that it won't be too absurdly priced above what a normal starter is. Yeah, it's a little toughy there. You you really like them, don't you? That's what I mean. You really like Rao. Hmm. I'm gonna do something risky with my build. I'm actually gonna cut Death Scythe. Big Death Scythe, the level 6. The reasoning is that I have too many pilots that I want to run in my version here, because since I'm not running white and I'm going blue, I have Amuro in here for some of the lower end units, but because I only have 2 Gundam Death Scythe, and I don't have anything else in here that really links or takes advantage of Duo, I'm actually gonna drop Duo and the uh, Death Scythe to shore up room for Unicorn Gundam. Well, I could do that, but I won't be able to get advantage of the link pairing. Yeah, that's the one thing that kind of sucks about the Unicorn Banshee thing, is that it pretty much soft locks you into needing to play red and going with a blue-red strategy. So, with me being in blue and green right now, I can't really take full advantage of the Banshee Gundam. So, I think what I'm going to do for my top end here is I'm going to run 3 to 4 Wing Gundam, and then I'm going to run 2 to 3 Unicorn Destroy Mode, and 2 Wing Gundam Zeros. And those are going to be like my big top end pieces. And then at level 5, I'm going to run 3 copies of Gundam Unicorn. And maybe we'll go with some copies of Grandpa Gundam at the level 4 slot. And then just try to round out some good stuff in the 1, 2, and 3.
Sorry, I was muted on stream. Whoops. Um, it was only for a little bit. Um, I was thinking of running Earth Federation heavy with a little bit of green, like for support, and a little bit of like aggression, and then splash in Wing Zero. I changed my mind though and decided to just go with blue red. Running a Earth Federation with some Cyber New type support.
Which makes sense because a lot of the blue-red cyber new type decks that people are running, they do tend to go in the low end with a lot of Earth Federation stuff. So I think that'll work out pretty nicely. And yeah, in this deck, I'm probably going to have a few Earth Federation stuff in the low end. The one thing that I don't really know what I want to do here, because at the moment I have 4 DOP, so that I have something as a level 1 play that'll let me filter my top deck. But I don't know if it's going to stay in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I would take out to replace it with. I'm really kind of struggling to figure out what I want to put in the low end for the cheap cost units.
Hold
Maybe
on.
stuff like maybe like gun tank or whatever, the one that does a damage to a rested unit.
That's not bad. Hmm. Weird. Where's all my striker packs?
I don't know. You should have plenty of them.
Well, each deck comes with two, I believe, right?
I think each deck actually comes with 3. Because I'm pretty sure in my collection I've got 6 striker packs chilling.
Hold on. Check. Maybe it's resources. Hold on. Where's the Zaf deck? Might be just mixed in there. Oh, you know what? I know where it could have went. Hmm. Might be in this collection of stuff I have. Yep, found it. It was in my. It was back in the wing box of like cards. Two of them in there. Oh look, there's a perfect strike. Wait, does that mean I have? Does that mean I have 2? No, I don't have 2. I think I took this perfect strike out of the. Hold on, I gotta check my seed deck again.
You're just finding all sorts of goodies.
Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah. Overall, though, I like my seed deck. I think for now it's good where it is. Ale Strike. Strike back Ale Strike. No, I actually do have 2 perfect strikes. One of them is here, and the other one's in the seed deck. Yeah. Alright, I'll have to think about the perfect strike, though. Because if I'm going to run that, I might as well take out one of the Ale Strikes. Yeah. Yeah. It's just that the upside of running... that the upside of running Perfect Strike is that it's very universal. I can use Hawk and Endymion or Kira. But since we're going with Kira, I might as well just run Ales. Yeah. Alright. Let's take out a path. Alright. Well. I feel like I'm looking at my childhood here. My 1990s, my 2000s. Just missing 00 for 2010, for late 2000s.
And give it time and you'll have it.
Yeah. Alright, let's go with this build for now. And let's do a quick shuffle and see how it goes. And if anyone's wondering what the music is, that's from Advance Wars.
I really should check out some more Advanced Wars music because that one guy that did a cover of the one Advanced Wars song that I found on Clone Hero was pretty good.
Oh yeah. Advance Wars, if anything, you can't go wrong with the tunes. Yeah. And I am am very sad that the remaster, like the reboot camp, didn't do too well. I mean, for good reason, but at the same time, I'm like, it was still enjoyable, you know, as for what it was. But it just did not have a good appeal. It did not have the appeal. Yeah. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Wait, what?
Are you at 51?
I'm at 49. One, two, three, four,
Yeah, you might want to
5.
double count.
Doing it now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Okay, we're at 50. All right. Must have miscounted something on the 3 line. All right, cool. At least I know all my level 4s are freaking pilots. And 2 striker packs.
Yeah, that tends to be what looks like the most consistent thing where people aren't really playing any level 4 units, which I may be shaking that up a little bit with my build.
Yeah. I'll have to do a bit of a shake-up with my Zaf build because it's not, like, part of the regular doctrine.
Yeah, I mean, Zaft in general is very, very underplayed right now. It still has some people that manage to show up and everything in top 16 with the Zaft list, but I don't think I've seen one yet make it to like top 8.
Yeah. I am predicting a Zaf Triple Ship Alliance deck coming up. So, we'll see.
That would certainly be interesting to see.
Because we are going to be seeing a lot of, like, originally what were Zaft suits, probably, and pilots, start to become Triple Ship Alliance. Because we know Diarca joined the Triple Ship Alliance. We know Atherin joined it. Izak did not. Andrew Waldfeld also joined it too, so there might be something there. What else? Who else joined? Well, Lacus is not a pilot, so that doesn't count.
But she's apparently just as important.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. I think that's it from the Zaf side. So it was Andrew Waldfeld, Diarca. The only thing that's throwing me off is the orb cards. Like, Kigali. I'm surprised they made Kigali solely orb and not orb Triple Ship Alliance. Unless they plan on adding more orb units like Akatsuki. Yeah, Akatsuki, Astrays. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I was kind of wondering about that because currently there's not a whole lot that she can link with. She really only has her Sky Grasper and then Strike Rouge.
Yeah. And sadly,
That
her strike, and the reason why it says destroyed is because her Sky Grasper got shot down for a sortie.
well,
Yeah. Alright, let's take a look here. Yeah. Hopefully tomorrow at the shop they have the oversleeves for sale, because I do like my art sleeves. But yeah, shuffling them and getting them damaged is not great.
yeah, yeah. It's why I always felt bad about very rarely ever using the sleeves that you would try to gift me, but I just couldn't do it.
Yeah. Also, not a bad first hand.
It's not too bad. I think
Let's see. No
I think
blockers is the downside.
yeah, there's no blockers, so I think what really determines it to know for sure is what's your draw, and then yeah, get your shields up, and then let's see what your draw would be for turn, and then what would you get off of overflowing.
Now this is assuming I'm going first, so I can't use Orphan first turn, so second turn. And then I could play either Zowart or Overflowing. So probably the go-to would be to play Zowart.
Now, that would be if you're going first. Let's assume that you're going second and you have the EX resource and you can play Overflowing turn 1.
If I do that, it'll be draw
And
2.
no. You would still draw for your turn, so you would get the wing 0 for your draw. And then there you go. So you get Zawart and Ailstrike off of the Overflowing.
By turn 2, let me see. If I want a defensive play, it would be Zowart. If I want to just go ham to the wall, it would be Ailstrike, and then basically try to ramp.
I think, honestly, in this case,
Yeah.
probably your best bet would be in that scenario to pitch the Ailstrike and keep the Zawart.
All right, let's do another test run. Just realized my Switch has been sitting up here gathering dust.
Yeah, mine's been gathering some dust too. I need to try to make use of it at some point.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, there was actually some funny tests that were recently done with the Switch 2. So USB sends a lot of signals, basically telling you what's compatible, what the device ID and everything is. Well, the Switch 2 is one of the first USB-C devices that has such a high restriction on what can connect with it. More restrictive than Apple, which is kind of hilarious.
Ugh.
Yeah. I've been trying, and we just saw also the PlayStation 6 handheld apparently does have a Switch-like dock now as part of its thing. So I think PlayStation's going to try to re-enter the handheld console to directly compete with Switch. All right, let's see what we got here. First 5. What? Tame? Hmm.
got some early game stuff, but
I would probably mulligan this one.
well, let's see what you would get from the mulligan.
Okay.
Okay, not a bad mulligan result.
Okay, and let's go ahead and... Speaking of voice actor miscast, one thing in the Advance Wars reboot, I think they miscasted Eagle. His voice is way too low.
Without having seen it, I can't really speak on that, but I do think that I don't think it's really all that difficult to like look at a character and get a feel for how they should probably sound, because there's certain like characters and everything where you just can definitely visualize like, yeah, this character feels better with either like a deeper voice or a higher pitched voice or a medium low voice or a medium high voice.
Yeah. Okay, this is actually a really consistent one. Check this out. So, first draw, I don't do anything turn 1. So it goes to the Frith, then another Zawart. That's,
Well, you
that's,
definitely get your blockers there.
let's see, turn 3, and we got a duo. Let's see, assuming they actually hit my base. Alright, EX resource. And Death Scythe, so that's in time for duo.
What's that?
So assuming they did hit my base at least like
Yeah.
once, it would hit an EX resource, so that raises my level. And then the second one would have been Death Scythe, and then we have a duo on the way.
Yeah, but the Death Scythe is going to go to the trash, and you don't have a way to recover it, so kind of makes the duo, in a sense, dead in the hand.
Not necessarily. He can still go to Ailstrike to trigger the when paired. Because
No,
he's
like,
level 4, yeah.
you can still make use of him, he's just not as effective.
Yeah. Okay, let's try one more test hand here. It's kind of funny, like, I run 1 striker pack, he appears all the time. I run 2, nowhere to be found. The more and more I'm thinking about our Gundam Winger Bridge idea, the more I want to do it now.
Really.
Yeah.
You're not even the biggest Wing fan, so out of curiosity, why?
I never said I wasn't a Wing fan. It's just not rated as high as my others.
I know, I'm
Like,
saying you're not. I'm saying you're not the biggest Wing fan, as in like it's not at the top of your favorites.
yeah, definitely gonna send that away. That was pretty bad. Alright. Mulligan, pretty good actually. What the frick?
Holy shit!
I got a lot of affection.
Yeah, I would say so. You can't escape the seed.
Okay, so let's do a quick shuffle. Oh wait, no, I was supposed to. Yeah, I was supposed to shuffle, then do the 6 shields. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Alright. Assuming I'm going second. Drawing to Ailstrike. Play Overflowing Affection. Draw 2.
Sweet Christ.
Oh my god.
I think in this case, you could honestly just pitch one of your overflowings.
This is pretty good. I mean, it's a white heavy hand. Let's see. Alright, so that was going second. Now we're at turn 3. Oh, sorry, turn 2. Draw.
And you would have the EX resource still, so you can...
We can do a
make
Lefrith.
decision. You can do a Lefrith, or you can throw out a Zawart. Probably the Lefrith would be the best idea. And then you can either hang on to the EX resource, or you can pop it for another overflowing.
No, I would keep it for now. And then next turn, we'll do Overflowing. Let's drop. Let's drop the base. And then we'll play First Contact. No, I would probably rather have bodies on the floor, so let's do Wing Gundam. This is the part where, like, you're so slow, you're probably gonna get hit by now. Let's see. Yeah, alright. I mean, by turn 4, I'm going to have a ramp. So Ailstrike and Kira would be ready to go. So...
I think that the only misplay that you kind of did there was pitching the base. Because I feel like for this deck, because you're only running so many blockers, it's actually partially important to try to hang on to bases as much as possible.
Yeah, so maybe the other idea is just to pitch one of the Kiras. Or, actually no, pitch one of the wing... No, yeah, I would have pitched one of the wing form.
Yeah, you could have definitely pitched the bird mode, one of the bird modes, since you got into 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's do it one more time. Let's take a look here. Let's see here. Let's do another run. That's an interesting one. I can live with that.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Draw. Okay, that's getting a little top heavy there, guys. There's only 3 Kiras. How is this possible? Then again, it's just Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic all over again.
That's actually why, for my blue-green wing variant, I thought about running 3 Benager, but I cut it to 2. Because I have a feeling that if I put it at 3, I'm going to see him when I don't want to see him.
Let's try again. All right, let's do a cut real quick because my opponent will probably cut. There we go. All right. Oh, that's actually a really good hand.
Yeah, I think that gives you a lot of options. The only thing that's a little shaky about it is no pilot, but that could be easily rectified with one of the overflowings.
Yeah. All right. So assuming, let's say I'm going second. Let's do draw. There's a pilot. And we can pitch.
This is where the decision making really becomes tough on what you want to pitch and everything.
Probably pitch Ale Strike. Okay, and then turn 2. And of course, I throw a Ale Strike right when Kira shows up. We'll throw down the Frith. And then turn. I wonder if I should just get rid of one of my Wing Gundams. Seems to be coming in when I don't need it. Ooh, the shield area is terrible. Okay, I'm seeing some problems here. Maybe running Perfect Strike may not be a bad idea. Let's take a look. Let's see, deploy, choose one enemy unit with 1 HP, return to his hand. I don't know, I'm starting to see more. I may actually consider Perfect Strike. Huh. Because it fulfills the blocker, it's cheaper. Huh. Let me try that, actually. Because the Ale Strike just seems to be coming in and, like, throwing Conundrum. But of course then, like, I'm not facing anyone, so maybe it's just that, like, I'm just, like, overthinking it.
You could be, but
I kind of want to play Justice Gundam in this.
What would you do though to try to slot it in? Because that's another level 7.
Oh yeah, 7. I thought it was 6.
Nope.
He chunky.
Yeah, he's chonky.
Yeah. Alright, let's do Perfect Strike. And this opens up to me going either Hawk of Endymion or Kira now. Hmm. Where am I at here? And he works well with EX Resource too. Because at level 5, you'll more than likely have 1. And you just cost 3, and then you're just throwing a pilot on top of it. Let's see. Well, we'll keep Kira in there for now, but now I'm actually just wondering, maybe Hawk of Endymion's not a bad idea. Because if that lowers the cost curve, you know? Not cost curve, the level curve. And it gives me a command I can use. Yeah. So now that you've been exposed to the Gundam franchise for about over a month now, how do you feel about it?
Well, I'm starting to get to a point where, there's mobile suits that I'm really liking. Um, Still having some difficulties with, getting to a show that really like pulls me in part because of trying to look for uh dubs and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
which I think I'm just going to forego. And if I want to just watch them, I'm gonna just watch them in JP. And then if I want to review them, I'll watch them in English, since that's what I could speak to more for voice acting related stuff. But I think that I'm definitely getting to a point where I feel like I can pick favorites for mobile suits and stuff. And I have like an opinion in terms of designs that stick out to me. But beyond that, I really need to kind of dip my toes in a little bit more to get a better feel for it. But I'm kind of liking things so far. I just need to, I guess, talk to more people with more experience with Gundam and like kind of immerse myself in the community more.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean the community is huge, so as I said, there's like several camps. Like everyone is very tribal of like Wing, Seed, Witch of Mercury, and so forth and so forth. So yeah, and then of course there's the UC or bust crowd. Yeah. All right. This is damn. I mulligan and I get like a pilot heavy hand. Ah. Let's see. I don't know. One. Now that I have the perfect strike, I'm more like maybe Hawk of Endymion is not a bad idea. But Kira's -2 AP is also not terrible. Yeah, because that -2 AP on combat is very handy, keeping your units alive.
Yeah. That's kind of why I had the opinion that Kira is just a really, really good pilot at the moment, because with the with Gundam TCG at the moment in a state of being very board control oriented, having the ability to control combat in this stage of the game is really, really good. It's why I'm actually kind of surprised that the blue-white blocker traditional deck is starting to kind of fall out of favor a little bit, because it gives you just the best in terms of control over the board and the ability to hit that grind game to stall the aggro decks and play control a lot better than other types of control strategies could, where I really don't know why the deck has fallen out of favor and why it's not putting up results anymore.
Yeah. Okay. And actually, this is a pretty well balanced hand. Actually, I would have played Wing Gundam Bird Mode, then turn 4, get these two out on the field. And then Kirayue. This is actually a pretty good flow of a hand. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad
flow, yeah.
Not a bad line there.
Yeah. Let's see. Shields were perfect. First contact. Good. Good. Not bad. Okay. Well, actually, this would have drawn at this, so yeah. That's actually that's a good question. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that would make sense, because if suppression hit both of these and this would become that, this would have gotten hit anyway, but Archangel would activate first? Alright, you know what? I'll have Bandai figure out that ruling. That's shenanigans they created themselves. Maybe I should get a much more safe for work friendly mat next time that I'm looking at. All right. How's your side right now in terms of building?
Well, it's slowly getting there. I feel I'm getting pretty close to figuring things out, but still got a couple things that I'm not too sure on what I want to do here. I've got like Siege Ploy in the deck at the moment, but I may be needing to remove that to make room for some other stuff.
Look at this chat of a hand.
Jesus Christ.
Hi. I'm just gonna wait to kill you.
that would be such a gamble to hold on to.
Alright, let's mulligan. I don't think I want to take that gamble.
There's only one thing that sucks about that. You're bottoming a lot of pilots.
Well, no, it gets shuffled, remember? Alright, that's safer. I would take this one. So then you would shuffle, and then you would, yeah, then cut, and then your shields. All right. Assuming I'm going first, I guess. Draw. Skip. Draw. Zort. And then draw. Level 3 now. Let's go ahead and start raising the stakes and prep for it. So we're at new levels. So we're at level 5. We're going to be at level 5 next turn. So we'll do that. And that opens me up to do this. And then probably I got hit by now. We'll do underground base. And it gives me overflowing. So yeah, that's a decent flow. Yeah, I can't complain.
No, I mean it certainly looks like it's performing fairly decent.
Jesus!
I think the only thing that may throw a monkey wrench in is how good exactly it can stand up to something like 1 Year War, because that plays super, super low to the ground, that you would need to put up a fair number of your low end bodies to be able to trade with them.
Yeah, that guy who played blue-red with Amuro and Merida really threw me off because Gun Cannon plus Amuro just rested my board. I was like, well, open season.
Yeah, which that's actually the game plan that I have with this deck at the moment. Is I have 3 gun cannon, so they're going into here to pair or link up with Amuro in order to just try to rest multiple stuff, and then, you know, the ability later in the game to do Unicorn Gundam Destroy mode to just rest any enemy unit when it attacks. And then we have possible siege ploy access, but I may cut it because one of the bases that I'm going to play is actually a semi underutilized one.
It's
Nahel Argama.
the unicorn one that rests something that's 3 or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I considered using that too.
I think I'm gonna slot 2 of that in there in place of like running white base or any of the other base options. So I'm gonna probably do like 3 underground desert base and 2 Nahel Argama.
Okay. This is a very blocker heavy hand. So here's my first 2 draws. So this would be turn 2. I already have 2 Zawars, 2 Lafriths. So I would definitely at least have, and then of course Wing Gundam Bird mode if I want to start ramping. So what we can do is Zawart, and then when I drew that, I would do Lafrith, and then turn 3. Then that was turn 3, sorry, and then turn 4. Either start the ramp or throw down 2 more blockers to solidify the board. And then this would be turn 5. Jesus. Turn 5 would be a ramp. So now I'm at level 6 at turn 5. And then I'll be level 7. Still no pilots though, so what I'll do is I'll probably pay 1 to get 1 out. Overflowing, try again. Come on. Pitch first contact because I'm already at a point. So in this case, there's no pilot. or let's just hang out at the bottom guys.
Yeah.
Actually, I think okay, two heroes in the base in the shield, so one way or another something's gonna show up. All right, it's definitely got some inconsistencies. But the fact that I can put up 4 blockers really quickly, like late, early to mid game, is not bad.
Yeah, at the very least, you certainly do have some options and whatnot. So that is always a good thing.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Anything else? Did I leave anything in here? Let's see. What else did I? Let's see. Need those. Let's toss these guys out. Okay. I knew I got another wing resource, but for now I'll just go with what I have. All right. Next, let's go ahead and get. I want to open some. That's annoying. All I have is red sleeves left. Hmm. Actually, I'll put my gray sleeves on these. So I'm gonna take all my sleeves out of the seed deck and put the lacquer sleeves back onto the seed deck. Let's see. Keep that theme going. And then I'll probably have to I'm gonna buy some oversleeves.
Yeah, hopefully the oversleeves end up working out for you.
Yeah. Well, these boxes are meant to carry 130 double sleeves cards. So we're fine. And by the way, if any viewers, you can find these on Amazon for $12 right now, maybe even less. They're really good.
Sponsorship when?
Actually, you can do Amazon affiliate links. Just click onto them and then get a little bit of a kickback. Yeah. One thing I did learn, when you do affiliate links, is that like you can also see what people buy when they click on those links. It may not even be the item that you linked. You'll still get something, I think. It's just that like you'll just be like, why they buy a freaking like cooking like 6-piece cooking set? One creator is like, you guys buy weird crap. It's like, I'm a tech reviewer. Well, I see you guys buying fishing tackle backpacks and cookingware. What? Yeah. My guess is that like they were already like going to go to Amazon to buy something and just like decide to check it out using the link. So I guess the token or the cookie that crawled along went like, well, they bought it, so here's your kickback. Yeah. I mean, it's a few cents, like, per dollar, but it's, it's something.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna use my Uma Musume ones when double O deck comes out.
Uma Musume on double O.
Yeah. So Mihono Bourbon, her animation is based off of Gundam Double O. She's got the twin GN drives on her hips, and her launch is very similar. So
Is that like now? Do you know like have they officially said like this is a reference, or is it just heavily implied?
it's heavily implied. Although I feel like they may have mentioned it. Um, because the resemblance is way too canny. All right, I'm gonna keep the perfect strikes in there because I feel like that's a little bit more. I wouldn't say versatile, but more easier to manage with the cost 3.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. If it doesn't work out tomorrow, then we'll we'll just rethink it. Yeah.
yeah. The good thing is that we still have some time before new type challenge rolls around.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a couple weeks to figure things out. Definitely need to make sure that we get a good handle on what we want to try to bring, but
I mean, this is my backup deck right here.
got a got a little bit of time to be able to experiment with the ideas we think are going to be the strongest to bring.
The strongest and also most comfortable too. Because with the wing deck, it's one of those things where like I have to make that like hard decision when pitching. Whereas like with the seed deck, it's a lot more easier. Because like how what level of a blocker do I want to bring to the board at this point in the game? You know.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, dragon shields are easier to shuffle than these Musume sleeves anyway.
Well, I think I might have my deck fully fleshed out. I
Mm-hmm.
just need to cut one card out of it, and we'll be at our 50 that I'm gonna take tomorrow.
Yeah. You're blue green, right?
Yep, blue green wing. My current top end is 2 Wing Gundam Zero,
Mm-hmm.
3 Unicorn Gundam Destroy Mode, and 3 Wing Gundam. And then I'm running 3 of the Unicorn Gundam Unicorn Mode to go with the 3 Destroy Mode.
Gotcha. Oh, and given that I'll be in Japan in November 8th, and the second booster box comes in October 24th, if we don't get box, if I'm not able to get enough product for myself within those 2 weeks, I may just leave behind some funds for you to just pick a box up for me if you're able to.
Okay.
So when I get back. Yeah. But if yeah, I'm gonna leave my Zaf deck on hold because I want to see what they bring for support because it looks like a good opportunity for, as I said, Triple Ship Alliance mixed with Zaft. Yeah, there is actually one thing I'm kind of interested in. They changed the name of one of the factions. So Calamity Gundam, not Calamity Gundam. Yeah, it could be colliding Gundam. Yeah, colliding Gundam. Basically, I think it looks for a trait that says uh, biological unit,
Hmm.
processor unit. So in the anime, they're called extends. They're they're like the cyber. They're like a version of cyber new type in the Seed universe. So
So they're
yeah.
like kind of the first rendition of the idea of cyber new types before they became a thing proper in Unicorn.
No, in Seed. Unicorn and Seed are from two different universes.
No, I realize that you're saying that this idea or whatever was like the first rendition kind of the idea of cyber new types, unless cyber new types were cyber new types directly introduced in Seed.
No, because the term new type was never in Seed. Um, but it was Seed's version of cyber new type. And you can also argue coordinators themselves were cyber new types because they were genetically modified humans to begin with, and then they just because there's something called first generation coordinators like Kira, where his parents are naturals, but they gave the fetus or embryo to become a coordinator when they are born.
Yeah. So what I what I was trying to say is
Mm-hmm.
this concept or whatever is before the actual term cyber new type was invented with Gundam Unicorn, but Seed kind of had the idea first, just with a different name.
Uh, no, actually, cyber new type became a thing in before, before Seed was introduced. It was
So
with
when did cyber new type get introduced?
uh it was when Marita Cruz's clone sisters were first introduced, I think. I could be wrong. Because they came around before Seed. Like late 80s or early 90s. Hold on. Let me look that up real quick. See. See here. Zeta Gundam.
And when did Zeta Gundam come out?
Oh wait, no. Hold on. Let me the clones. I'm just see process salt like double Zeta. 1986.
Holy moly. Okay.
Yeah, the concept of cyber new types has been around for a while. Um, as I said, Seed is just like another sort of retelling, not retelling, but like another rendition of the UC, like an alternate universe. So, yeah. Okay, let's...
God, there's a lot to fucking unpack within Gundam.
Yeah, it is quite expansive, so...
I feel like I could learn something new forever.
Yeah, I actually I used to hang out with another Gundam content creator a while back, Gundam HQ. Um, Funny enough, actually, he was one of the groups I was doing the Gundam tabletop gaming before. Yeah.
Oh, they were a part of one of the other groups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unfortunately, the plan fell through due to, unfortunately, some drama. So it is what it is. Because the guy he really liked the game and ran it, and I think we had two groups in his community. So yeah.
Yeah, that was certainly a time. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Someone did reach out to me and wanted to try it himself. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Like recently?
Yeah. About 3 weeks ago.
Holy moly, okay.
Yeah. The game, and the thing is, though, I made the game a little bit more open ended so that it doesn't even have to be Gundam anymore. You can technically make it with any mecha. Because I made a generic sheet that allowed you to create any NPC with any form. So if there's like a mobile armor or like a enemy that big or small, you can just use that to make it. So yeah. The problem is I've been away from the game for so long. Is that like I need to like rethink and kind of re-practice everything I was thinking about back then. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's like, do you have the time for that?
No, unfortunately not.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless like it becomes regular content. Let's say like, hey, every Saturday night, see people want to get on and do it live. Then yeah, I would definitely do it. But unfortunately, nah. Too many video games. Too much stuff going on in the world. Too much adulting.
Yeah, unfortunately, tabletop gaming is really difficult to do the older you get and the busier you get because it's just so freaking time consuming to set
Yeah.
everything up.
Yeah. One thing I will say this though, I did join a Pathfinder group again, with my one of my friends who's also one of my old DMs, and he's the one I told you about that wants Gundam cards too. The wing, he wants the wing assembly kit. So I'm like, oh boy, here we go again.
They had it previously available at the car
Or
shop and everything, but I don't think it's there anymore.
it's
And at
not.
the
I was
time,
there. Yeah.
yeah, at the time I only had the ability to pick up the Xeon kit
Yeah.
and help you get the heroic beginnings one. So the wing was unfortunately not really in the cards.
It's not. And to be honest, I would probably just hold off on it for a little bit just because it wasn't at MSRP either. So I wasn't really even gonna get it at that time. So yeah, and plus I don't think I'll be meeting up with him probably for another like month. So there's good opportunity that it may show up somewhere. Yeah. So
Hopefully.
yeah. So here is the Zaf deck on hold. So yeah, so I'm gonna wait a little bit, see what they do with set two. But for now though, it is technically a working deck, just Um, as I said, could use some work. Yeah. Okay. All right. Time is it? Oh wow, 10:50. Okay. I'll be right back.
You got it.
Alright, I'm back. I was just downstairs and I just saw that like I left my Crystal Beast deck just sitting there for 3 weeks. I was like, oh yeah, I was working on you. What was I doing again?
Nothing important because we have Gundam now.
It's like, Konami has betrayed me. Bandai. Alright. Yeah.
Bandai will always be there for me.
Don't say that. Bandai has broken me and Cal's heart a few times already.
But you keep coming back. And it must be for a reason.
Yes! Alright. Wait, these are... What? Okay, that's a Xeon sleeve. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. I'm kind of feel like a little lucky that I decided to just buy the sleeves that were there that day. Because you can't find them anywhere.
Really?
The Gundam sleeves, yeah.
Huh.
I haven't seen a restock of their accessories in a long time.
Come on, Bandai, get on that shit.
I mean, as I said, I'm gonna, like, when I'm in Japan, I'm gonna visit the Gundam base. And I don't care if it's the Japanese version of accessories. If it's dice and it counts, I'll take it.
Pretty much.
And you know what you know what? I will bring a deck with me in English to there because I'll be coming in fresh as they're introducing the new set. And I will see if there is a Japanese if there is a Japanese thing going on, TCG like event at the Gundam base. I will freaking go like, nope, I'll be in this line. I'll just tell my family to like, nope, go on without me. I'm gonna be here all day. I don't care if we're going to the Tokyo Tower.
Some things are more important.
This is an investment in my future. Yeah. Although I do have to be careful though of like how much stuff I get. Apparently like they do like if you they may like stop you and not allow and like charge you for like bringing too much like product via plane. Like it's almost like smuggling.
That's freaking lame.
Yeah. I think my sisters had to ship me the stuff from the official Nintendo store. I was like, really? Hmm. I don't know. I'll have to ask them.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we may need to prepare a little bit because they have a lot of goodies over there. Man, we're not gonna be able to get some of that stuff over here.
Yeah. I'm not gonna get cards there. I'm just gonna go straight for the accessories because that's stuff I know will be legal to use and can be universally for anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
I mean,
probably look to buy like a kit or something to take home. Yeah.
I more so care anyway as well about the accessories that they might have there because we can get cards really at any point. That's it's still going to be somewhat hard early on here to be able to get stuff solely because of Bandai not being able to print to demand entirely, but
Hmm.
we'll still be able to somewhat get a hold of cards. But it's the accessories that are going to be the real issue.
Yeah. I will say this. I think the demand for set one in our area has pretty much stabilized. Like, you know those like 3 packs they've been selling every day?
Yeah.
They've been they're still on their second to last box. They've been like that for a week now. I don't think people are buying.
Well, I think that what's going on probably now is there's enough supply that has hit the market that now people are able to actually buy stuff online
Hmm.
and at affordable prices. So they're no longer stuck in the issue where it's like, well, everything is so expensive that you may as well try to get the cards through cracking packs. Now everything is so cheap to get a hold of that there's more supply of it and everything that it kind of is better now to get the cards online and just buy singles. But previously, it was like, well, the only way we could get anything is by getting packs because there was no supply online except at way overvalued prices.
Yeah.
But now you have like the Wing Zeros are finally at $15 a piece.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, in Overflowing Affection, the U plus version is down to 95 from its 105, so slowly falling. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so we're
think
getting there.
I think I will do a Xeon Shenlong deck, like a anti-blocker like breach build. Just keep breaking the board. Yeah.
It is a somewhat popular strategy. I think though it doesn't really end up seeing a whole lot of play when you get to larger event stuff because
Mhm.
at that point people don't want to take the risk of like, well, we have a lot of different decks that are being played in the field, so we don't want to just kind of make a deck that solely is meant to focus in on the blocker game and then have issues with the other decks of the format.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, one thing I am surprised about? I did see okay, I just lost my train of thought. I'll think about it later. What was it? Oh my god, yeah, I lost. I literally lost my train of thought as soon as this new song popped in. Uh,
Does that happen a lot for you?
yeah, yeah. Just because, like, Advanced Wars triggers nostalgia for me. Like, oh yeah, I know that guy. What was I talking about again? uh, yeah. Yeah, I think my Seed Blocker deck is the most consistent deck I've built so far. So, yeah. Oh, you know what? Now I remember. Um, that was what was it called? What's that GamerSup's V card? It's just called V card, right?
Yeah.
They're on their second set now.
Yeah.
Like, is that picking up traction at all? Or are people just buying for the collecting's sake and then just, I don't know.
As far as I'm aware, they're just buying it for the collecting sake. Other than that, it's not really doing much of anything.
Yeah, because they were pushing it at Otakon when I was there. Like, there was an entire table for them.
That's surprising.
Yeah, and then the other one with Japan Anime, the one Oshi something, Oshi something,
Oshi Push, yeah.
Oshi Push, yeah, they were there too, and they had a rotation of VTubers interacting with people coming up to the booth, playing the card game. So, yeah, yeah. Japan Anime is another one of those companies that, like, I feel bad, like, I haven't bought from them in a long time. But that's also because, like, I think ever since COVID, yeah, ever since COVID, like, I haven't had any friends come in to play Tanto Kawar with. So I stopped buying the expansions. And apparently I did miss 2 expansions since then, apparently. And then apparently there's another one coming.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah. So there was a Butler expansion, there was a fantasy expansion, and then there's like another one coming out. So yeah, so Tantakoar is still going. It's just that, like, I already spent my money at Otakon that day, so I'm just gonna have to order them another time, or when Otakon, if they're back at Otakon again, I'll keep $100 to buy the 2 expansions I missed in May and see if the third one's up or not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
All right. Well, I think I definitely have a place of Gans. And it's 11 o'clock. Yeah, I definitely don't have time to do any gaming today. Yeah.
Not unless you want to be up till 2 a.m.
Nah, I got other things to do. I got plans. I got content to plan for. So, and I guess here's a sneak peek at the next deck I'm building.
Yeah. Yeah, the blue-red deck is really, really tempting, not gonna lie.
I mean, I have everything to do it, so because that's what this white box is for. So it's just like pile of cards right now, but I'm not gonna do the unicorn run, but yeah, here's my gun cannons. Oh, I do have 4. Grandpa, Delta Plus, Riesel. Oh, there's a 5th gun cannon. Great. just pile it on. Amore, Salem Mass, all the commands and pilots I ever need, and things I may or may not use. So get ready for that. And I know I have 2 Casatrias too, so yeah, I can build that white base with splash of red. Yeah. This combination though messed me up.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
I can't wait to use it hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah.
On
I mean,
some
even this throws me off Amuro plus Banshee Unicorn mode. Even though I mean it won't get Link, but it'll still do the same thing. Ugh.
Yeah, that board control capability is just so good and so nasty.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I think this is what I mean. Granted, this game just came out, but like it is kind of nice to see that structure deck cards are very well worth it.
It's pretty awesome that the starter deck cards aren't just, getting reprinted and put into the boxes alongside other cards that are strictly more powerful. It's nice that there's use cases for stuff from the booster boxes as well as the starter decks.
Yeah. All right. There's my 2 Casachias. I think I'm going to need one more, though, to make it more consistent. I still don't have a use case for Extreme Hatred.
I haven't found one.
The level is ridiculous. And the effect is not even worth it. Choose 2 of your active units, rest them. If you do, choose 1 to deal 3 damage to it.
The only thing that it does is the idea behind it is, and the thing is that it's like, I can see to an extent where they're going, because resting the 2 units puts you into the effect condition for Shamblow. So I think the idea behind it would be to like wait until you hit level 8 and play Shamblow and that card in the same turn. But the payoff that you get for it is so minimal.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. Alright. Well, this is deck number 3. Technically, Academy deck is deck number 2, but that's just there for teaching other people to play, to be honest. Yeah. Alright. Put that in the pile there.
So how are you feeling about tomorrow? You feel confident?
Not as much, but that's because I'll be playing with a different mindset, and also we saw until like it's tested, you can definitely see that because there's going to be some early signs of not early signs, but some early struggle, but that's to be expected from a wing deck. Yeah, because until you get to like level 4 or 3. Not even that. I think, yeah, until you get to level 4 is when, like, you can start hitting your stride. Whereas most decks by level 3, you've opened up options. So. Honestly, I actually did think of blue green for like pinging or something, or red green for pinging, or introducing Xeon as my early game strategy instead of blockers, you know?
Blue
Yeah.
green. This is gonna be honestly be a really experimental deck. I'm just kind of doing a lot of theory crafting right now, where I thought about wanting to play the green white version of Wing and just going the straight blocker route, but I want to test this a little bit because I feel like it has the ability to navigate a few different avenues that possibly gives me some advantages against kind of in general the vast array of the different decks that are out there.
Yeah.
Like
Uh-huh.
I have the ability with how I've set it up at the moment to be able to have units and everything that I can play early to kind of trade with the aggro decks to some extent. It has control with being able to make use of stuff like gun cannon and other low things like I'm running the Zaku 2 unit in here that gets plus 2 AP on attack
Mm-hmm.
to be able to crash EX bases as well as just this is a very good cheap unit to be able to get rid of certain problematic things on that 3 health range that typically a level 2 one cost unit would only be able to do 2 damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But because I haven't seen anybody playing a blue green wing deck, and especially uh, running a unicorn package or anything in here, this is largely going to be a lot of feeling things out, and I have no real direction or sense of like for sure I know that this is going to work out.
Yeah. Also, I had a really good hand just now, but the draws were pretty bad. Okay, let's try again. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Let's see. Good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Because that gives me an early link. Duo as a backup if I need to. 2 blockers and a base option. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty solid overall.
Okay. So I'd say consistency is almost there. Some worrying spots, but that's if I get like too many pilots or something, or too many top end. Hmm.
You know what? Fuck it. Since I'm experimenting, I'm gonna go balls to the walls.
Hmm?
I'm taking out the Grandpa Gundam, and
Oh.
I'm gonna put in Unicorn Gundam Banshee Unicorn mode.
You have a Marita Cruise in there?
Nope.
Hmm.
Nope. I'm not running the level 6 variant. I'm just running the level 4 3 cost one because it's the same cost as Grandpa Gundam.
For
But
more control.
yeah, I'm thinking about just going in with instead of getting the uh, during my turn all my units get an additional AP, just going even more so in on the resting control.
Hmm.
And seeing how that kind of plays out. So it's gonna kind of stink a little bit because I'm not gonna be able to take advantage of linking with it,
Yeah.
but we'll see how much that actually ends up mattering.
Gotcha. All right. Let's see. One last hand. Mmm. A little slower. But if I were to go with it. Okay. All right. Yeah, it can work. All right. You know what? I think I'm feeling better. Let's see what happens. Worst case scenario, I don't get prize. uh, Also, everybody, just to give you guys a heads up, if you guys are going into Gundam TCG to your locals, definitely, you know, do it as much as you can if you want Bandai to support your local store more often. Because if you do show consistent turnout, your store may get to do special events like New Type. All right, it's now 11:18. Let's go ahead and just start the cooldown and have a good night, everybody.
Make sure you go to your locals every week.
Go to as many locals every week.
There
All
we
right.
go. Locals 5 times a week.
Remember, I am sponsored by your local card store. I don't know what it's called. They just told me to go there. All right. Now, good night.
Have a good night, people.